Hi guys, good afternoon, good evening, and also good morning to wherever you are in the world. Hope everyone's having a good one, right? So it's not official. It's going to be unofficially part two of bounty material and rolling gear, just to show you what it's really like to roll gear. So this is not necessarily like Barbarian orientated in Diablo 3. It is overall orientated for everybody. You see all these YouTubers come on here. Yeah, we'll re-roll our gear with bounty mats to get the perfect gear, and they end up with the perfect primal after like 10 rolls or 15 rolls or 6 rolls or something like that. No, it's not really like that. So I want, for example, in the game, Squirt's necklace, crit elemental damage. In this instance, I want to be physical damage. Oh no, do I want physical? No. For boulder toss, I want physical damage. So I want elemental crit for the push build. Also on the rings, both rings, Band of Might and COE, I'd like them to be primal for the max stats, especially the COE for the 200% increased damage in a single element for 4 seconds. But I also want crit, and cooldowns. We want 8% cooldown, 10% crit chance, 50% crit damage on both rings. So I rolled this yesterday. I didn't do it on cam video. I'm going to do it now about 150 times. You should probably tell by my googly eyes I've been farming like a mofo, like you would not believe bounties. So there I've got over 1,000 of each bounty, and I've also got these bounty caches in my inventory. Yes, that's 1, 2, 3 tabs, nearly 4 tabs, and I've got another square today, which is nearly primal quality anyway. Literally 40. If I rolled that to maximum crit damage, it would be 14 strength of being primal, which is insurmountably nothing at 4,216 paragons. So I'm not going to bother opening these bounty caches at the moment. We've got 1,000 mats here, so we're going to just see what it's like to roll and show you what it's really like rolling gear. Many of you will know exactly what this is like and know how arduously frustrating it can be, shall we say. So, Reforge. So 5 of each of the items, then 50 Forgotten Souls. I'm not worried about Forgotten Souls. We have like 120,000 of them. So let's enjoy this plan and just let's see. We've done 120 rerolls yesterday just because we want to see if we can get crit cooldown. I don't even want a primal, just a legendary, but I want a high percent of increased damage for single elements. If it's less than 190, it's less than 190. It's just going to get rolled off again. So we're going to keep going and show you what it's really like. We could be here all day, so this is just what I'm showing you what it's really like. So I'm not even going to bother counting because we are probably going to go into the hundreds. This is the most difficult. This gear, the jewelry, is the most difficult gear to roll correctly for your build, in my opinion, easily. I've never had any of it perfect since I've been playing the game. It's always been something needed here, something needed there. I didn't even check that one then. Oh my god. See there? Nope.
Small goals.
Like ideally, we want one of 2 stats: crit, strength, cooldown. Crit, strength or cooldown, 2 of those 4 stats, and already a socket. The reason being, if you've got strength, crit, hit chance, and cooldown, and a socket, the strength will be rolled on for crit damage, for example. So we're going to keep going, just to show you what really rolling gear is like. Oh my god, dude! You see all the Americans and some of the really reputable YouTubers for Diablo. I'm not going to slag anyone off, but they're like, yeah, 6 rolls, we got the perfect piece of gear. No, that's not what it's really like at all. We got a primal after 5 rolls or 10 rolls, transmuting for reforging legendaries. No, that's not how it works at all, as you're going to see. I just thought I'd let everyone know I feel your frustration with you. I don't believe the unrealistic stuff that's sometimes posted by other players and other YouTubers on here. Like, don't mean to say slag any of these guys off, but they're posting stuff that's completely unrealistic to the game, based in the RNG with a random number generator. The cooldown, crit hit. If that had crit hit 6, I went to crit damage. I'd be tempted to keep that, you know. No, actually, no. It's minimum cooldown 6. I need 8. Yep, absolutely screw that. So just gonna keep rolling. Let's say different game now, different day. It was awful, absolute hell farming all of those bounties, but we got there in the end. We got a nice build up of them. See, it's awful. That's just why I really want a primal. COE is... Get this COE like this, because it'll work with any build. There's no main stat on it, is there? The idea it's just going to be strength. So you crit, cooldown, or cooldown, crit, however you want to look at it. So it needs to be a primal, it really does. Like if I do happen to get a primal on this and I can get it the same stat as my main current ring, I'll swap them over, then start re-rolling the one that's equipped, for example. We've done a few now. Let's see how we're looking.
You have access to a wondrous artifact of old.
Oh, god damn
That's
it.
what you want to do with it.
It's really not a wondrous artifact, trust me, it's that absolute bag of shit. Who this is, I know, not the most exciting of videos, I'm fully aware of this, but this is the truth of Diablo. Attack speed, crit hit, 180. Awful.
You're imaginative, aren't you?
Well, I think I'm quite imaginative, thank you. Can I? Talking to an obelisk, but oh well.
Access to a wondrous artifact of old. And that's what you want to do with it.
So we're doing quite a few rolls, and remember, once you get the chance of a legendary, or the chance of a primal, sorry, is 2%, apparently. So that's 1 in 50 chance per roll. Yesterday it took about 500 rolls at the Captain Crimson Pants, or crafting Crimson Pants to get a primal, which still aren't the best because they've got fire resistance instead of all resistance. To get a primal Captain Crimson Circle, Girdle took about 120 forges. So that was 500 and 120, for example, yesterday. So,
Small minds, small goals.
pardon me, excuse me. So yeah, we're not doing very well here. Oh, I'm supposed to go in there.
Very well.
So we've gone through, like I say, went through about 1200, 1500, something like that. Bounty materials yesterday. We've got 1,000 of everything here, plus we've got 3.5 stash tabs, nearly 4 stash tabs full of bounty caches. So I'm not worried about necessarily bounty materials anymore. I think if I go through all of these bounties now, bounty materials, and don't get this as a primal or anything I want, I think that's me done for the season. Like, it's the 10th of May now. From the 1st, I think the 2nd of June, I'll be going to the Diablo 4 anyway. And this is going to be my last season for Diablo. I was going to do some group 3 and 4 man group play to try and get on the leaderboards, but it's just can't find anyone to play with. The guys who are playing are all sticking in little close-knit groups. I'm on the 2-man, comfortably on the 2-man, comfortably on the 1-player leaderboard, so I'm happy with that for the season, to be honest. Here we go. You suck.
You're imaginative, aren't you?
I've not even seen a COE that's better than what I've got equipped yet, which is awful. My one's not terrible, but it's not what I want. Strength needs to be crit hit damage. If that crit hit damage, I'd be quite happy with that, to be honest.
You're imaginative, aren't you?
Well, you're not, can I? Because you could screw me over on the rolls. See, absolute sucks.
Yes, I see.
See, less than 190 for the elemental percentage damage increase. Just gonna get rid.
Not what I would do, but when has that stopped you?
See, 164 useless. I like the health growth bonus on that. That would be a delight.
Small minds, small goals. I won't judge.
Nope.
Not what I would do, but when has that stopped you?
See, this is impossible.
You have access to a wondrous artifact of old, and that's what you want
See,
to do with it.
4.5% crit, 34% crit damage, 194 same amount of secondary, but the primaries is terrible. They're like essentially minimum stats. No. Basically what I want is what I've just got as a primal. There we go. So we got a primal. Yes, it's better than what I've got equipped, so I'm going to swap it over. Because I know, I'll show you. At least I've got the max stats out of it. So we got something going on here at least. We're going to roll off that damage. 4 cooldown. First roll, sound. I love primals, you know. So we got a primal. It's not the best, but it's better than what I've got, but it's not exactly what I wanted. Like the only difference, slightly better increased single elemental damage, and obviously we got literally 30 more strength points. It needs augmenting as well, that primal, so I'm going to do that straight away. Oh, I need to make some more gems. So yeah, this is the journey of trying to get the perfect gear. It's an absolute nightmare, but just see, most of the stuff's quite easy to roll, to be honest. Oh, no. But the jewellery is very difficult to do. Let's say 123, so I'll do 90. We'll do 30. Oh. Get 10 of these guys. Just for an example. Just so I can augment that with a nice high gem. Go straight in for the augment. 132, that's cool with me.
I've got some brand new goods you might be interested.
Then we're going to carry on.
Wait, if the tomes contained all...
You have access to a wondrous
So
artifact
awesome.
of
So
old,
we have got
and
a
that's
fully, madly enough, we've got a fully primal guy now, so just let you see what the build specs are. Everything is pretty good, to be honest. Everything's well rolled, everything's correctly rolled. That could do with all resistance instead of armor, ideally. That could do with all resistance on the Crimson sets, but oh well. Life per second on the Striders suck. That could do with all resistance, but we needed the Ancient Spear damage. Area damage and cooldown on 300th Spear. Vitality, strength, cooldown on the area it's low. We could do with area damage instead of vitality. And yes, we're separating overall damage for the cooldown so we can keep 100% up down on Wrath of the Berserker, which is the whole thing. Band of Might. Skull of Salvation is probably the only perfect bit of gear I've got, I reckon, maybe. Well, so is Raker's Heart as well. Shoulders, gloves. Gloves, shoulders, chest, and maybe braces are probably the perfect gear. Like, the Rakers will jib off the vitality, ideally, crit chance. But there's my guy, just going through all its bits for you slowly. Completely primal, completely augmented to minimum 130. But we're still going to carry on rolling. Now the old COE, so see if we do manage to get that. This is a nice little bonus, this. I'm happy we got a primal at least out of it, but it took enough rolls.
I see.
Then if I get
Access to a wondrous artifact
a quick
of old,
cooldown with
and
above
that's what you want to
190
do with it. Very well.
elemental damage, I'm going to replace that primal, even if it's just with the legendary, non-ancient, just legendary.
You're imaginative, aren't you?
I'm quite happy with that though still. I'll give it another 30. I'll say when one of these, so I don't bore you guys to death too much. I'll get to 500
Goals. I will
materials, and then the first one that goes to 500, I'll give it a rest at that point. Like I say, that would be perfect if that was a primal. Secondary health globe, 200% increased damage, crit, and I could throw the strength to cool. And if that was a primal, that would be the perfect piece of gear. But obviously it's not.
very well.
So yeah, this is what it's really like, rolling for gear, and you're going to keep going, and keep going, and keep going. until your eyes want to fall out of your head with frustration and tiredness. I'm pretty tired to say those bounties were hard work to generate and build up, do them over and over and over again, but it isn't part and parcel of the game, and it has got me 3 primals since yesterday, so I can't really complain. I've got 3 upgraded pieces of gear. See that? See, that is... Is that more damage than what I've got? Then I can get the cooldown on there. We got 200% increased damage on a single element target. Single target element, okay. Element. And now here you've got to question yourself what you're going to do. Because if I can get 8% cooldown on this now, it's going to be, it's 9 increase. It's increased damage already from the primal, which is augmented, and I get the cooldown that I want. I'm not worried about the main stat with the augment. Yes, it's nice to have the extra little tiny bit of strength, but that's not going to make an awful lot of difference. So let's see. And welcome to the RNG again. Oh, this is all it's about. Oh no, you know, yeah, I've got a socket there as well, so I can, it's already socketed. So this is just showing you how bad the RNG is. And this is what it's like. Rolling for gear, you get the gear, then you got to roll it for the right stats. And I say jewelry is the most difficult stuff to roll in the game of any of your pieces of gear. Hands down, no equivocation, the most difficult. Still going, still going. I'm glad I've got 400, 372 now with those gems. We have over 400, so you can see how many times. And yes, this is what it's like rolling and re-rolling gear. Awesome. I love this part of the game. Cooldown by 7. Give us by 8, please. That's a perfect ring there. Literally a perfect ring. It's the only problem is it's not legendary, so I can't augment it, but there's a perfect ring there. And even though, yes, I'm using an augmented primal, a little bit more toughness, but I'm losing a percent of damage. And I've still got the cooldown. So there's the choice. If I worry about toughness, I use the primal. If I'm worried about damage, I use the not even non-ancient, which is the perfect roll. And the questions you need to ask: is this worth sacrificing this for that? Like, is it worth sacrificing 1,110 strength to have the perfect rolls, to have the extra crit damage? Exactly. I'm not sure. Something to measure like 203 million, 3662, 211 million, 3620. They're the questions you're going to ask yourself. Obviously, we're into the point where the game we're getting a lot of Paragon, so we'll see how we go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know, well, I hope it wasn't too boring, but just what it's truly like to be reforging, re-rolling legendaries, transmuting, and then rolling for the correct stats on the gear as well. So, reforging legendaries, rolling for the gear once you get the legendary, and whatever happens, happens. Subscribe above, like below. Any comments or questions, leave them in the comments section. And I hope you're all well. I hope you all have a good one. Catch you later.